r/ask Reddit. What is a clear sign of you getting older? I saw this somewhere yesterday. You live your 30s just like your 20s until the injury. Or the diagnosis. This is me. No injury, but life changing. Not life ending. Diagnosis in the following ramifications at 33 signaled the end of the good times and forced me to come to terms with my mortality. Now my Friday Saturday nights consist of couch, Cooper's Hawk, Home by 10, or D&D, youth, and life is precious y'all. Don't waste it. When you are asked your birthday online and you realize how much you have to scroll to get to your birth year. This one. The little year wheel just rolls and rolls and rolls to get to my year, 1967. PS. And I'm grateful for those years. This guy, only going to 67. You don't dare leave the house without peeing. And you never fart in public. That shit can go wrong in a hurry. Never trust a fart. Morty. Media, songs, movies, games you grew up with start being referred to as classics. The first time I heard Nirvana on the classic rock station, I died a little inside. Same here, but it was Green Day. When they tear down a building that you remember getting built. Haven't experienced that, but that feel though when a place you used to work in your hometown is now a parking lot. My elementary school got torn down and turned into condos. That was weird. I used to use the pull-up bar to make my arms big. I now use the pull-up bar to decompress my spine. It's also amazing for shoulder pain. You just sold me on a pull-up bar. I found myself just wandering around the aisles of Lowe's, not looking for anything in particular, and had a moment of self-clarity. I'm old. I'm looking for clearance sections, but I think I've always done that. 99% of the time it's useless chuff, but that one time you find a good deal, always going to check. Never know. I had a painter over, 19 years old, that kept referring to me as sir. Yes, I've noticed that. You become a sir, though you really don't feel like you possess the full power, authoritativeness and gravitas of one worthy of the name. I think you're underselling yourself, Sir Tissue. You hear all types of pops and clicks in your body. I just tell people I'm a crunchy human. Like a regular human but deep fried. If anyone asks me to do anything after 8 PM, the chances of me going are slim, and the chances are even slimmer if I've already put on sweatpants. You get out of sweatpants. Well done. Working remotely has definitely made me feel like I'm dressing up when I put jeans on. You wear sweatpants? Well done. Working remotely has definitely made me feel like I'm dressing up when I put on pants. Ooh, I like their cabinetry while watching an exciting action movie. I showed my aunt Breaking Bad and she couldn't stop talking about how nice Walter's house was. What teacher can afford an in-ground pool on their salary? When I watched professional sports and all the players looked like children. Baseball, football, tennis to etc. You start doing the math and realize you're basically watching a glorified Pee-wee game. Valuing your sleep and at least trying to follow a decent sleep schedule. I just can't do it if I don't. In younger years I could take on an army with 4 hours. Now 6 hours isn't even enough to piss straight. You start getting wisdom moments. Understanding why things happened and had to. Being more compassionate towards mistakes of others because you're shitty yourself and you know it. This one hits it for me. I think I have become much more patient with idiots than before. I want to add though, I also see through bullshit and have no fear calling it out. Now, I mean, who's going to smack some old man for mouthing off? Yikes. Making noises when sitting up and down. Our dog is getting old, and whenever she stands up, she makes these little groaning noises. I thought it was cute and funny until the day I realized that I, too, make those noises whenever I stand up. Maybe she's mocking you : There was a man in the UK who hurt his leg and needed crutches and his dog started limping. Took her to the vet and apparently there's nothing wrong with her and she was doing it out of sympathy. That 2 decades ago is no longer the 1990s. Sometimes I catch myself thinking the 90s were only a decade ago. The worst was when 80s night at the club turned into 90s night. Then when it turned into zeros night I started shopping for grave plots. I genuinely, not sarcasm, not a meme, Have no idea what slang teenagers use these days. I have absolutely zero context or exposure to any cultural influences teenagers even have. Edit. There are a few dozen responses at this point to my post, almost all of which have examples of young person slang. I understand none of it. I really hope some of you jokesters are pranking me by giving me some fake slang to use. That would be hilarious. But honestly, it's kind of fun reading what slang people use these days. I was pretty sure things aren't fire anymore, but maybe that's still used. Rip bozo sussy amagus ratio don't care sus. That is real sussy barker. 40 is a weird age. Everyone older says you're so young. Everyone younger thinks you're so old. You often prefer a light dish to fried food because the latter is indeed tastier, but it's not worth the trouble. It looks tasty, but do I have my antacids? Already going through this at 24. Can't have alcohol or anything spicy late at night or my stomach will not let me sleep. When you've seen multiple decades of fashion trends come back into play with the young crowd. I laughed when I saw a pair of Jinko jeans being sold as vintage ultra baggy denim in a trendy second-hand shop near work. It boggled my mind that people actually wanted to wear those again. But my 20-something co-worker was like, oh yeah, they go for like a few $100 or more now. I then showed the youngsters pics of how impractical garbage they were if worn in rain, snow, and a developing heel strap after about a month of dragging on the ground. They all still want them, and they said it's cool because no one wears them that long anymore. Case in point, the next day I saw a teen wearing a pair, only they stopped just above her ankles. Didn't think that look could get worse, but the kids have gone and done it. Shrek was released 21 years ago. Take that back. The Matrix was 23 years ago. Your address book includes men and names of people who are either dead or you haven't heard from in years. Note, as I commented further down this thread, the address book referred to is my grandmother's from when she was alive. It's interesting to flip through the pages and see that most of the entries were crossed out by the time she died, meaning all those people are dead too. Also, you have an address book. Edit. Wow, I wasn't expecting awards for this. Thanks. Also, my comment comes across a bit like I'm making fun of OP, and that wasn't my intention. But I literally know of no one younger than my mother, in her 50s, who keeps a physical address book. OP furiously tries to find your address on his book. Having no idea what the latest trends are in pop culture, and not caring either. It's so freeing. You have a serious and in-depth conversation with your friends about decent lawnmowers, weed killers / vacuum cleaners. Damn it. I was talking in earnest about home appliances and had to stop and realize, damn it, if this is relevant then I'm old. People in positions of power being younger than you. Haven't gone to a wedding in a very long time. Have gone to a few funerals, though, comma. Every movie I've gone to, pre-pandemic and now, starts before 7 PM. Sunday matinees, first show of the day. For me, it's cheaper where I live, not crowded at all, and as long as you avoid anything G-rated you're golden. You are more aware of others wasting their time. Yes, and of their wasting your time. I don't want to set foot in a nightclub ever again. I'm old enough where the club girls don't check me out so much as keep an eye on me. When I was about 40, I got dragged to a club by some younger co-workers after a team dinner. I lasted about 5 minutes before having to tap out. The music and fog machine going full blast was like a living hell to me. I felt exactly like this at 20. The feeling of not waking up hungover sounds better to you than a night of partying. I get hungover without even getting drunk now. I used to sneak out of home to go to parties. Now I sneak out of parties to go home. Intolerance for loud noise. The older I get, the less I can stand it. I don't care about how I look without makeup anymore. You say to yourself, it's the end of January already? More like, what did I do between 1990 and 2000? Kids born in 2010 are turning 12 this year. Kids born in 2000 are basically done with school. Most will have graduated college. If it makes you feel any better, some 2000s people are still in school because they started college later in life : Peer pressure is ducking stupid. What are you gonna do? Not let me sit at the cool kids table in the cafeteria of the eternal high school you reside in? People of all ages participate in peer pressure. Even something as simple as pushing expectations of how your lawn needs to be kept in a neighborhood results in a lot of peer pressure. It's just how people often are. I'm not saying it isn't stupid, but it's stupid at any age. The entire concept of FOMO is essentially wrapped up in peer pressure expectation. I don't recognize popular music artists now. You find teenagers irritating. Everyone finds teenagers irritating, including other teenagers. I find them irritating when I'm 18 and a half. Back pain. We're growing in places where hair shouldn't be. Seriously, what is this bullshit that I have to shave my ears now? Yeah, I was surprised this wasn't higher. When I was 30 I noticed a few grey hairs. When I was 32 I noticed more hair on my chest and back. When I was 34 I had to start trimming my nose and ears and eyebrows and shaving my neck weekly, and my nipples are surrounded by fountains of pubes. It's like another ducking puberty except your sex drive is slipping. Although I still picture myself as in my late 20s. And I'm always surprised when I say my age out loud. You don't understand the purpose of TikTok and take advantage of any opportunity to let others know that. When the checkout girl at the local drug mart gave me a discount and I asked why the discount and she said seniors discount. I was maybe 57 at the time. I didn't know whether to be outraged or happy about getting a few bucks off. Preferring to stay home than to go out. You no longer call your knees left and right, but good and bad. I sneezed the other week and threw my back out. I schedule plans with friends earlier and earlier every passing year. There's just something so satisfying about getting dinner and drinks at 6 p and being back at home wearing my comfy fit binging the show du jour by 9 p. Dad jokes are getting funnier. You start to give fewer shits about others' opinions and actions and do more self-reflecting instead. When you stop going back to bed after getting up at night to pee and just put the coffee on. More and more things annoy me. Roughly 80% of the musical guests on SNL I have never heard of. Time going by faster. It takes twice as long to look half as good. I get excited when I buy a new kitchen utensil or some other house related thing. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.